Make yourself ready for the internet. Hello world. Okay, I just want to make a quick vid today about my classic F1, vintage F1. I know I keep changing the name all the time. However, my chassis that I'm working on at the moment, which is the long wheelbase F1 car, and I wanted to show you guys one thing that I've been doing while I'm waiting on my FRP plates, all the parts that are being CNC'd that should arrive sometime in the very near future. So while that was happening, first of all, I worked on new upright hubs, aluminum upright hubs, for both the trike and the pan car, the 112 pan car, because they share those components, and I wanted to try to have those components in metal now. I'm trying in SLA. So far they've been 3D printed in ABS, which worked really well, but I don't think it's very well received by the RC end users, so I'm trying to get something aluminum instead. And so I had that. I had the long wheelbase chassis. And while I was fiddling around on Illustrator, I just wanted to take a look at the 2021 Formula One chassis, the renderings you could find online. And I took one, I put it on the Illustrator the same way I did for the vintage car last time when I was making the video. And I took the diameter of the tires and I lowered it to the diameters of the 110 F1 tires, which is 60 mil. And it just happened that the wheelbase is exactly the wheelbase that I have on that chassis now. So, of course, what am I going to do but design an F1 version of that car, because I had to design stuff every day. That's just what I do. So here you go. This is, of course, those are the molds, so they're not pretty looking. You would have to imagine that all of this big bubble on the side here, this all here and here would be gone. Of course, this is for vacuum form purposes. But so this would be the front clear panel that would be pretty much permanently attached to the front. I'll show you how. And this would be the body panel that comes in and out. So my aluminum pod, and then you'll see a little bit more of the steps I did at the back. So I have designed F1 body, not to resemble the actual F1 cars. I just want to have my own thing. I try to focus on having a really big air intake so you can get a lot of air through the car. Those will be opened as well, those oval shapes over there, so you would have a really good amount of airflow within the car as well as around the car. Of course, all this on the side here would be cut, so you would have these very the kind of nose. You can see the shape from the side over here when it's going up and around, so this is really reminiscent of the actual F1s. So let's remove the parts one by one. We have a problem, Houston. Alright, let's remove this one first. Okay, so as you can see in the front, I've removed the clear shell, and so once again, this chassis, you can use any Tamiya style F1 front end that you like. I just redesigned a few parts in order to match my aluminum uprights. Of course, there's one part missing here, which you just see the outline in yellow of, which is the part that will attach to the carbon plates. And then between the servo mounts and this side here, you would probably have a link as well in order to strengthen the parts. But the spring, of course, is over here, and here this can rotate, so you can change the caster of the car. There would be no camber change unless I have different specific parts over there. So that's this front end. Of course, it's not locked to this front end. And then I have this specific nose that is designed to be a support for the clear body part in the front. So this would remain on the car at all time. Even for maintenance, there is just no reason to remove these parts of the car. And so that's the only thing that I've changed in the front. It's basically I have my own front end assembly on this one, as opposed to the classic car that's really using boutique manufacturing. And then I have a new adapter specifically for that, in order to have the nose and those parts. They are separated. I didn't want to have it in one piece. They are the same. They are symmetrical, but they are two separate pieces. I want to have just more flex and more, basically more breaking points as well. Okay, and so now getting into the car, let's remove this one. What happened to visibility? It disappeared. It's here now. So no change over there. I've removed the upper deck here to raise the battery. The battery would be in the front, low center of gravity shorty. Those would be flipped around and inside, so you would have this hook for the shorty battery, and the ESC would be mounted somewhere around there at the back, around, not on the T-plate, but around there. Of course, you still have the possibility to stiffen the T-plate over there. And then instead of the big long diffuser that I have on the vintage F1, I have designed this diffuser over here, which is more reminiscent of the current and the upcoming F1 cars. And it has at the back the traditional mounting hole for rear wings. So it would accommodate any actual F1 rear wing, and then I designed my own to put at the back over there. And then it's the exact same chassis design with those dampers over there, the spring from the big chassis plate. It's the same philosophy, it's the exact same thing. The only difference really chassis-wise being the front end on this one, and then everything else is more cosmetic. Although the diffuser being that aggressive, I think is going to be, it will be pretty powerful. The wing is quite subtle in its downforce profiles. It's a bit progressive, but it's well shaped. I didn't try to make it really like there is a resemblance to the 2021 wings, but I didn't want to make it exactly the same, because it is just, the real thing is just way too brittle looking to be downsized to here. And yeah, and then the front, like I showed before. So this is a little concept design that I have done based on, where are you? You're over there. My vintage F1 chassis that I'm currently prototyping. And so feed me your comments. Tell me what you think about it. Should I not? Is it a stupid idea to have a long, technically it's not a long wheelbase, because this is a true to scale wheelbase. The car should actually be way more narrow for the diameters tires we're using. The F1 should be like 165, 170 wide. So right now it's 190, of course. Yeah, send me your feedback. Tell me what you think. Is that something I should do? First of all, I'm going to wait to test the new chassis and see how it goes. But I think on that base, there's quite a lot of things that can be done. So here you go. That was my little design update and another ongoing concept in my head and in the CAD. All right. So everybody, see you later. Bye-bye.